blessed ones of the nations of the world. One more time, this is your brother Dan Moses, or say your Sakodie of TRC Ghana, coming to you with the continuation of our exposés, Testimony, New World Disorder. But before we begin, we want to welcome each other by saying Akwaba, Allen, Sahalen, Shagitam, welcome, Igandoni, Benvindo, you are welcome, Kuso, Diwo, Tusan Yusenyo, Okukulaba, Mauya, Mingalaba, Boye, Malamu, Karibu, Ekabo, no, o Sanu de Zua, Enkwang de Hena, Mitas, Duburo, Pezaluvat, Bine Ivinit, Barigalus, Vita, Iche, Ayubon, Dobridoya, Velkommen, Estan, Hozut, Walang, Anomang, bienvenido, Namaste, Swagetam, Kush, Hamadid, Baruch, Haba, Marhaba, Huangyong Haminida, Huangying, Nyejeko, Anyamime, Nyejeko, Wezolo, Novio, Mia, Wezo, Akwaba to the program. Testimony, New World Disorder. Testimony, New World Disorder, as we know, is the program through which we get to know what is happening to Ghana, America, humanity, and the nations of the world in these times of global deception, delusion, and willful lies that are made up by some of the very people that we trust to be there for humanity and the nations of the world. Yet for almost 2 decades now, in worship of the extremely dangerous U.S. undercover agent Daniel Jezebel Babylon Caesar, my former spouse, they have dealt with humanity by willful lies, deception, and delusion. And they have brought America, Ghana, and the nations of the world into this total global helplessness, with the evil minds behind the global agenda pursuit being Ghana and America, the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Nana Addo Dankwa Mahamudu Bawumia, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. These are the evil minds with their cronies within the office of the UN Secretary General. Their ulterior agenda which they are pursuing, for which reason the world is in this state of helplessness, is an agenda to seek to take over your soul and the souls of the entire human race. They started the pursuit of this agenda for almost 2 decades ago, and they are still working diligently at it. It is time for you to make up your mind. Don't you allow them, for all the evil that they visit on the nations of the world, on their own nation, America and Ghana, to take possession of your soul and lead you to damnation in hellfire. Akwaba to the program, Testimony. Make up your mind where you want to spend eternity and give your life over, your soul over to the owner and the maker of life. Christ Jesus is my Lord, and He's the owner and the maker of my life. So I gladly want to welcome you to the program Testimony, New World Disorder, Humanity and the Nations of the World. This expose is being recorded on Friday, the 18th of October 2024, and God willing shall be available to us on the last day, the Saturday, the 19th of October 2024. And this expose is expose part 19. Going to be available on the 19th of October, and it's part 19, and it is subjected taking back our franchise and our nation. Why? Because there are evil minds, traitors in Ghana, and their cronies in America. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are administration, and their crop of traitor politicians and traitors within the office of the Secretary. They have orchestrated to disenfranchise the Ghanaian people and the American people at the 2020 national election and impose their will on these 2 nations to further their willful crime covering. With the EC of Ghana being the epitome of the drive of the whole evil, for which reason impunity and bizarre disregard for every law is taking place with regards to the Ghana's election 2024. Akwaba to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. So we are calling the American people and the Ghanaian people to arise peacefully and violently and weaponry, demand their franchise, and let the traitors within the office of the United Nations UN Secretary General know that they don't own America, they don't own Ghana, they don't own any nation on the world to impose their whim. Tell Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, all of them, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Mahamudu Bawumia, and all the traitors in Ghana, that they don't own Ghana to impose their whim and their will upon the Ghanaian people as the will of God. You understand? God bless you, and Akwaba to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. Ghana demand your franchise. America demand our franchise, irrespective of the shameless evils. Ghana, America. Now let's go on. This week on Wednesday, we received an expose which for the first time call on the Ghanaian people, the clergies and the imams and the traditional leaders, the faithful and true ones among them too, that they can attest to the fact that the evil pursuit by the traitors in Ghana has brought curses upon our nation. And we would, this week there has been an ugly damage control through the media and section of the media, some media personnel who do the ugly big of politician, and there have been traitors in the Adakopi, women who have no so-called ladies who have no disregard for their womanhood, who avail their womanhood to be they are being recruited as terrorists. They use their womanhood for terrorism, for money, for terrorism. Parkour's family members, you understand? They want to, they are considered with the winner police station, a new terrorist of Anakope to set me up, to make up a willful lie, because I awoken the Ghanaian people to the fact that there is a curse upon the nation and the curse must be reversed. They want to use their womanhood, who they have no regard for, to trick God, for God to reverse the curse upon Ghana by making up a lie against me. These are the state-sponsored terrorists, the family members of Parkour terrorists and his cronies. You understand? But let's get this understanding. Ghana, you see, if anybody to tell you that what is happening to Ghana is a norm, in Egypt, when the plagues took over the land during the time of the Hebrews in the land of Egypt, King Pharaoh would say to himself, these are natural causes. They happen every day. The more they happen, the more the punishment came. You understand? Okay. So let them say whichever. God has made me tell them the truth. No nation on earth would betray his own people, citizenry, and give them over to be killed for global agenda, to the point of colluding with global forces, selling the souls of the citizenry for a global agenda pursuit to take over their soul for destruction. What an evil. Akwaba to the program testing. That is what traitors in Ghana have done, and have brought curses upon our nation. Ghana, my second born, Grace Ohima Sarkodie, was born with a very minimal, negligible birth defect. And because of hatred for me and hatred for my child Grace Ohima Sarkodie by the extremely dangerous US undercover and her worshipper Barack Obama and Joe Biden and their cronies, you see, they have to exploit the birth defect of my innocent child with the terror net of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and their breed of traitors. Pursue a religious hatred agenda that, you know, the African people are the seed of the Antichrist. When the Bible talks about the pale horse and the black horse, it's all about the African people, you understand? And the African people, we ought to be killed, and every evidence to the killing has to be wiped out. Because the Bible says the Antichrist shall be cast down without a hand. Then without the hand, they take it to be without evidence. If it's there's a hand in any evil, then it is that hand committed the evil. You understand? Without hand, they take it to be that every evidence to the killing of the innocent African people must be wiped out. And they instituted global cowardly secret killing of the innocent as a global game, leading to the killing of innocent in Africa, Ghana, cowardly in secrecy. And eventually, this thing growing up to the whole world, to the killing of heads of the nations of the world, in a bizarre manner, to the bizarre killing of the Haitian president. America and the nations of the world. Thank God, before my daughter Grace Ohima Sarkodie was 2 weeks old, the God of the Jew, by the hand of the Jew, the birth defect was corrected. And my child continued to live up to this day. At her birth, the worshippers of the extremely dangerous US undercover agent, for their hatred, due to their hatred for me and my families in Ghana, they have to make the undercover agent claim that that birth defect is not from her family, it is from my family. And therefore, it is, she has rejected the daughter is not her daughter. You understand? It is from me, from my family. That is the root cause of they deciding that then such birth defect is not wanted in the world. They must kill all my family members to wipe away that birth defect from the world. At a point, they saw that God is God. So, in order for them to strengthen their agenda to hate my child the more, that is when they had to give birth to the COVID medical terrorism against the entire human race due to their hatred for me and their hatred for my child, Grace Ohima Sarkodie. America, these are traitors within my nation, Ghana. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his government of traitors, with traitors within America and the United States, the office of the secretary. They did this evil and terrorized the entire human race under the guise of a fiasco COVID-19, which was man-made. Akwaba to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. You see, because God is just, his heart could not take that kind of hatred. So he wanted to prove to the traitors in Ghana that he's a just God. So you know what God did? God, according to the book of Joel, had to prove himself a just God. God sent cankerworms, palmerworms, caterpillars, and all the worms by means of global avengers into the land of Ghana. And they bonded with traitors in Ghana. You know what they did? They entered forest reserves of Ghana under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. They looted our gold. They looted our mineral resources. They damaged and destroyed our ecosystem, our forest reserve, destroyed our water bodies to the point that water bodies in Ghana became red and brown. Do you remember the days of Egypt during the plagues when the water was turned red? Ghana's water bodies now are red and brown. You understand? That is what is happening. They are saying not from God. Okay. Then noble women of Ghana started giving birth to bizarre and unthinkable, unprecedented birth defects all over the nation of Ghana, to the point of the Ghana Medical Association and the Ministry of Health all lamenting about the consequence of the so-called Galamsey menace that have taken hold of Ghana by the cankerworms, caterpillars, and the palmerworms that have invaded the land because of the evils of the leaders of the land. Akwaba to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. While the environment, the ecosystem, the water bodies are being destroyed totally, the UNESCO and all the call it institutions of the United Nations that claim to be for environmental protection, they are all mute. You understand? Because their agenda is to destroy Ghana and to destroy the people of the land. And today, birth defects that are a million times worse than what my child suffered at birth, and it was corrected by the God of the Jews, by the hand of the Jews. Unthinkable proportion, unimaginable ones are happening to Ghanaian innocent born children. Why did I have to tell you this? You see, I want those that think that God is a man and God is stupid and he can be tricked to do against his will by their ugly propaganda to let the Ghanaians this very week there was a very bizarre ugly propaganda on a radio station which is the work of the so-called national security terrorists that have been recruited into the institution. They took over the radio station to do a very bizarre damage control for Mahamudu Bawumia because God had declared him this same week that he is the curse upon Ghana. He has brought that curse with his government. So the radio station was used for a very bizarre damage control. Now, Ghana, I want to tell us one more time that the evils of the leaders, the traitors of Ghana, against the citizenry of our nation have brought curses upon our nation. Everything that is done under the government of Nana Addo Dankwa end in total disaster. Look at the millions of dollars that came in under the COVID-19. They instituted that agenda, pour money into Ghana, and all the money became waste. Done. Nothing good came out of it, because the God of the heavens and the earth has cursed them to the root for their evil against their my citizens of Ghana and my 2 tortured and abducted children. Akwaba to the program Testimony New World. Ghana, I want us to know that no politician in Ghana, no prophet, nobody can twist the arm of God to reverse the curse which the wickedness of our people have brought upon our lands. Let's take it again. Now, let's get it clear. There was a man of God who stood in the authority of God and locked up the heavens because of the wickedness of the rulers of his land, Samaria. And he told them that there shall never be rain except by his word. He stood in the office of God and declared it unto them. And he put the key in his pocket, maybe in his children's pocket. You know what that meant? It meant that if anybody dared kill that man, there would never have been rainfall in Samaria until this very day. Did you hear that? Because the person that declared the curse, he was ordained by God to reverse. The person that declared, locked up the heaven, he had the key to it, to open the heaven for the mercies of God to come down. Ghana, I'm saying that there was a Ghanaian who, because of the wickedness of our leaders, traitors, and have brought a curse upon our life, destroying everything, held the national curse and lamented before international authorities. That was the genesis of the woe of the Ghanaian currency. Ghana, I tell us the truth. The same individual that God used to stand in on the world stage to lament of the evil by the traitors in Ghana, God will going to take that same individual. It will take his feet to stand on the same ground to reverse the curse before it shall be well. Let's hear it well. Let them play any political prophecy, any gimmicks and whatever they do. They can go ahead and do it and see whether God is dead or he's alive, whether God delights in his children, his people, or not. America, Ghana, Akwaba to the program, just Testimony New World Disorder. Now, last week we have learned that this week we have uncovered, exposed how ruthless and lawless the extremely dangerous US undercover agent was in the medical terrorism, hijacking the courts for judges of the court aiding crime. America, Ghana, after 2 years, almost 2 years of the abduction of my children, in February of 2013, the undercover agent took over the court, Rockville Court, Circuit Court, to seek to give her legitimacy, right, to own my children as her property. Therefore, she applied for divorce and child custody. And my copy of the document was sent to me, and I had to go to the legal aid office for a response to that crime that the undercover agent used to commit under the guise of the court. In the response to, let's look at, this is the document. This is the legal document. This is my response. We see it bearing clearly my house address, 12 High Court Church, Germantown, Maryland, MD, German Maryland 20874. However, though the Rockville court had my address, the so-called child support division, the terrorist and the criminal at the office, Julia, they all had my address. They had to collude and generate a fictitious warrant and put in jail without right for trial. Let's remember this. This is a proof that the Rockville court had my address, yet they committed that crime against me. Okay, now in my response to the so-called absolute divorce, which the undercover agent is applying for after 2 years of the abduction of my children and child custody, I made it clear that from this document, you see yellow, something that is underlined in a yellow color below. This is stating clearly by a lawyer at the legal aid, U.S. Rockville. It had there stated clearly that in this child custody or divorce case, there is also a criminal case against the individual Daniel Jezebel Babylon Caesar, who is applying for that absolute divorce and that child custody because she's a criminal before International Criminal Court. Although the U.S. government is not signatory to the International International Criminal Court Hague. Now, again in this document, it is stating clearly that my response tells the court that we have property, we have 401k, which is a pension retirement, because the undercover agent don't want me to have a penny on me. He wants a chunk part of the salary because I family. My money is a money. My income is a income. Income is our income of family. You understand? But she wants a chunk of hers to be used for what is called 401k. Ghana, you don't know what is a retirement savings that is deducted from the source from your income by the company that you work for. So she wants a chunk of that her income to go into that account so that in the future, in a retirement, the family would have. But mine, because my company we didn't have that 401k, so that my money, everything would put on the family table and then it to be spent. Okay. The undercover agent, knowing that if she writes, her application states that they have property, that will make it very difficult for a judge to go about divorce and the custody issue. So she wrote that we don't have any property. But in my response, a judge was sitting on the court, knowing clearly that there is an issue. It must be looked at. The judge ignored it. Why? Because political forces, traitors within the United States, who have put the undercover agent above every law of America, above international law. You see, when the judge looked at the application and he's clearly the case number, criminal case number is clearly on the application. What the judge, if she loves America and she studied law, what she should have done is extensive legal consultation with the Supreme Court. This is the situation we have. U.S. government is no signatory to the International Criminal Court. However, I have a divorce case and I have a child custody case which clearly states that there is a criminal case against that citizen who is applying for that divorce. What do we do? America, because the traitors within the United Nations, Office of the Secretary General, and the Barack Obama, traitors in Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and Stereo Network, want the cover up their crime, the children of the extremely dangerous US and undercover agent. They took over the court, let the judge disregard everything and do as he please. Give ownership of my children to the extremely dangerous, the killer of my family, the abductor of my children. I stood there and told the judge before he was going to make that decision. I told the judge, what you are doing. I've made it clear. You are committing, you are violating your law to do this. If you pass that judgment, I will leave the country. I will not stay in this country. America, there are judges of your court who willfully aided politicians to bring your nation and traitors in Ghana into this bizarre state. And they have decided to put their will upon the throne of Ghana. Kamala Harris, this evil is all that you have supported for all these years. And there are traitors in Ghana who have boldly declared that whether the American people like it or not, we shall be declared the president in January 2025. What right did have? We shall continue. God bless you, and God bless my people in Ghana.